The rain poured mercilessly that night, drenching everything in sight.
Outside a small cafe on the corner of Maple Street, a man stood trembling not from the cold but from desperation. His eyes were red, his suit crumpled, and in his shaking hands was a crayon-drawn invitation that read in pink letters, "Daddy, you and Mommy come to my birthday, okay?"
Love, Lily. Daniel Hayes had no mommy to bring. His wife had passed away 2 years ago. And now his 6-year-old daughter's birthday was in a weekend. All she wanted was to have her family together again, just like the other kids in her class. Daniel had promised her. Couldn't bear to break that promise again. Inside the cafe, Amelia Brooks sat alone by the window, clutching her lukewarm coffee as she scrolled through job listings on her phone. Life hadn't been kind lately. Failed engagement, a layoff, and rent due in 3 days. She felt like a ghost drifting through a city that didn't care. That's when Daniel saw her. She looked kind. Tired but kind. Without thinking, he walked inside, rainwater dripping from his sleeves, and blurted out words that made everyone turn their heads. "Excuse me, can you pretend to be my wife for 1 week?" Amelia blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" He realized how crazy it sounded, but desperation forced his honesty. He explained everything: the loss of his wife, his daughter's wish, and his promise. "I know it's insane," he said, voice trembling. "But I just need someone to make her birthday special. I can pay you, just for 1 week." Something about his eyes, raw and broken, made Amelia's heart twist. She should have said no, but something in her gut whispered yes. Maybe because she, too, knew what it was like to lose something you can't get back. "All right," she said softly. "I'll do it." The next morning, Daniel introduced Amelia to his daughter, Lily. The little girl had golden curls and the brightest smile Amelia had ever seen. "You're pretty, Lily," said shyly, holding up her tiny hand. "Daddy said Mommy went to heaven, but I asked if maybe she could visit for my birthday." Amelia's heart cracked, knelt down and took Lily's hand. "Well," she whispered, "I think heaven let me borrow some time." For the next week, Amelia lived in the Hayes household. At first, she didn't know what to do with the photos of Daniel's late wife on the walls, or how to respond when neighbors waved and said, "Nice to see you two together again." But slowly, something beautiful began to bloom in that house. Amelia cooked breakfast with Lily, helped her make paper crowns for the party, and laughed when Daniel burned pancakes trying to help. The laughter, after years of silence, filled the house like sunlight. Daniel found himself watching Amelia when she wasn't looking. How gently she spoke to Lily. How easily she smiled despite her own pain. Something in his chest stirred. It terrified him. He wasn't supposed to feel anything. It was supposed to be pretend. But the line between pretending and feeling blurred. One night after putting Lily to bed, Daniel found Amelia sitting in the living room, gazing at a photo of his late wife. "I'm sorry," Amelia said quietly. "I don't want to take her place. I know she'll always be Lily's mom." Daniel sat beside her. "You could never replace her," he said. "That doesn't mean there's no room left for someone else." Their eyes met in that moment. The ache of two broken souls softened. Still, Amelia knew this wasn't her world. She was just a stand-in, a borrowed light. When the birthday came, she told herself she'd leave afterward. The day of Lily's birthday arrived like a dream. The house was filled with balloons, laughter, and the scent of vanilla cake. Amelia helped Lily into her party dress, a pink one with sparkles that shimmered when she twirled. "Mommy," Lily said suddenly, wrapping her arms around Amelia's neck, "promise you won't go back to heaven after my birthday?" Tears filled Amelia's eyes. "Oh, sweetheart," she began. But Daniel appeared in the doorway, eyes glassy. That one word, "mommy," cut through him, not as pain, but as a realization. Amelia wasn't just pretending anymore. She had become part of them. After the guests left and Lily fell asleep among her presents, Amelia began to pack her bag. But Daniel stopped her at the door. "You don't have to go," he said quietly. She shook her head. "This was supposed to be just a week, Daniel. You and Lily will be okay." He stepped closer. "We were okay. But now we're happy." "That's different." Amelia looked up at him, eyes brimming with tears. "You really think we could be something real?" Daniel smiled, a small, trembling smile that held more truth than words could carry. "I don't know what the future looks like," he said, "but I know this house feels like home again. It's because of you. Months passed. Amelia didn't leave. She found a new job nearby and began building a life this time, not alone. Lily called her mom without hesitation. Daniel, once a man drowning in memories, learned to love again, not by replacing the past, but by honoring it through new beginnings. One evening, as the sun set over the garden, Daniel took Amelia's hand. "You know," he said, smiling, "that week I asked you to pretend to be my wife?" She laughed softly. "How could I forget?" "Well," he whispered, "I'd like to make it real this time." He knelt, holding out a small ring that sparkled like the hope they'd rebuilt together. Lily ran out from the house, giggling. "Daddy, are you finally asking Mommy for real?" Amelia's heart overflowed. "Yes," Daniel said, eyes shining. "For real." And as Amelia nodded through her tears, Daniel wrapped his arms around the woman who had saved not just his daughter's birthday, but their hearts, their home, and their chance at happiness. Moral: love doesn't always arrive with grand plans or perfect timing. Sometimes it finds us in broken moments, when two hearts meant to heal each other finally meet.